are the Bronzeville Greeners, and we are building a better Bronzeville. Movement, the story of life. Human and animals alike on the move, seeking something better. 100 years ago, in 1916, thousands of black people began leaving the Jim Crow South to seek jobs in the industrial North. It was the start of the Great Black Migration.
By 1970, 500,000 migrants had found their way to Chicago. As the black population grew, many white homeowners joined forces to stop black people from moving to other parts of the city.
It was well-funded, highly organized campaign that lasted for decades.
The area along State Street where most black people were forced to live became known as the Black Belt.
In time, because of the success of many of the black businesses there, the area was called the Black Metropolis. In 1933, a contest to elect a mayor of Bronzeville made that name popular for the whole community. The area has been known as Bronzeville ever since. In the 70+ years since then, much has changed and continues to change. Our environmental youth group, the Bronzeville Greeners, decided to start an ethnographic study and seek out elders from Bronzeville to ask them about the changes they have witnessed growing up near what is now called the Burnham Nature Sanctuary. What legends and lore did they create about the land and the lake? What was the land like before gentrification? How were race relations? Were there problems with gangs, guns, and drugs? And how do they view our generation and the way we relate to the outdoors? As we conducted our study, we learned a lot about Bronzeville and participated in many activities.
On June the 18th, we are going to unveil in this corridor 2 major public art sculptures. This is one of our neighborhood legacy projects.
We worked with the Bronzeville Abundance Campaign and 3rd Ward Alderman Pat Dowd to help with the spring cleaning and green.
Okay, so I appreciate you cleaning up behind somebody that does not have that same investment in the community as you all are demonstrating today. Thank you, Dr. Karanja, and everyone else here. Thank you.
I'd like to give a...
We also work closely with the Field Museum to help prepare for the gathering spaces happening June 18, 2016 in the Burnham Wildlife Corridor. 2 Bronzeville artist groups constructed public art pieces to mark the gathering spaces in the Burnham Nature Sanctuary between 39th Street and 47th Street, just west of the lakefront. Our team visited each Bronzeville group and helped with design work on each art project. The Sound of Bronzeville exhibit uses willow branches to weave sculptures that create a welcoming gathering space.
Place, and it'll kind of say, hey, come in, sit down.
The willow branches symbolize the resilience of the black community, and the weaving pattern symbolizes strength and unity. The other project, Sankofa for the Earth, is an image of a bird picking up an egg off its back. Sankofa is a West African term that means go back and get it. By interviewing the elders, the Bronzeville Greeners were going back to get parts of our history that we did not know so that we could move forward with wisdom and understanding.
We interviewed 9 elders one-on-one and conducted 2 focus groups that included 8 to 12 elders, one at Trinity Acres Senior Apartments and the other at Lake Park Apartments. Here are a few brief excerpts from the interviews we conducted.
Watching my brothers learn to drive.
Being able to walk across when school is out, going across the bridge here at 43rd Street, going to the lake, walking back south to the 49th Street beach.
Lakefront, we used to play basketball games over here. Some of the best ball players in the city would meet on the lake and play.
The black people would come to the point to party. And they would have all kinds of musical instruments. People would be playing all kinds of things like drums and so forth, and dancing. They had fire pits, so they would dance around the fire pits at night, and the music would just go on and on and on.
Phil whose name is Kilan, used to play there on the weekends. with a group called the Artistic Heritage Ensemble,
Okay.
which ultimately became the Pharaohs, which ultimately most of the members joined Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Really?
So,
Wow.
so every weekend you could see Phil Coran, Shaka Khan, Darlene Blackburn dancers, the drummers. The spirit of that area was incredible.
The Point. And so anytime, you know, that's now a restaurant in Hyde Park, the Promontory. So whenever I see the Promontory or go past, that's a place where it used to really be a hangout when we were in high school because everybody played drums on the Point.
It was a small path. You could walk and ride your bike through it. It went from here to 47. We would go there, hide stuff, play stuff like that. And that was about it. It was fun.
Yeah, that's her kid. It was the Wahoo Man, the Gym Shoe Creeper. Yeah. I remember we used to be looking over roofs, see if the man gonna jump on us and stuff like that. Everybody know about the Wahoo Man and the Gym Shoe Creeper.
Most of the stories I heard about the lakefront was the patrolmen who policed the lakefront. So there was a gentleman who was still is a notable, considered by many people my age, was a Chicago police officer who was called Two Gun Pete.
In the early days, it was divided so that what we would call then Negroes had to stay in a certain part that is divided, whereas white, mostly from the west side, would come over and they could enjoy the lake. But if Negroes swam across the dividing line, they would be jumped on. And there was a race riot that occurred.
1919, the summer of 1919, Eugene Williams, a teenager, had crossed over the invisible line separating blacks from the white beach. And the race riot of 1919 occurred.
That went on. That didn't just stop in 1919. That was going on during my time over there where the baseball park is called Bridgeport. It used to be a seasonal thing over there against the people over there. Yeah, white and black thing. You know, you go over there, they fight us, we come back over there and we fight them.
It's a beautiful place, but to find beauty, you have to be in a relaxed state. You have to be in a state where you're not suffering from the day-to-day. And so even today, a lot of our young people are trapped in neighborhoods that they never go out of.
The young people need to actually come out and not let the telephones and iPads control them. They should be in control of their devices because they miss so much fun.
I mean, not just for health and fitness, but because one of the things that older adults have not done is that we haven't shown you guys how we deal with stress and how we find solitude.
This study represents a small sample, but we hope it raises enough questions that others will build on what we have started, just as we built on the work of others before us. Above all, we hope these gathering spaces will become just that, a place to gather and help unite us as one great city, with a real sense of community and justice for all. Our world, our nation, our city, our families face many challenges: climate change, random acts of violence, and political polarization, to name a few. It is time for every citizen to step up and make a difference. It's up to each one of us.
The sound of music.